Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I know. Okay. There we go. Better. Excellent. Let's just make sure and perfect. Okay. Today's topic of discussion is don't judge others. A lot of people are becoming more introverted from just having to deal with computers all day. And it becomes easier to just avoid others, avoid making eye contact when you stare at a screen all day. But human beings still need that sense of place, being part of a community, and there's a social aspect to them. So today on the Common Sense Show, we're going to talk about a theme that could help you expand your life. Today's theme is don't judge others. Let me see if I can think of the Dale Carnegie quote, or from his book. I don't know if it's exactly quoted by Dale Carnegie himself, but I never judge a man because it's through him that I learn of a different experience or something of that nature. Even God doesn't propose to judge a man till his last days. Why should you and I? There's a good Dale Carnegie quote. You know, this is just a new mantra that I've adopted through my life, and it helps people open up. Like when you're comfortable with yourself and confident, and you're asking questions to understand the other person, they'll tell you anything. And to be honest, that could be pretty rewarding. Oh, I can never get the right angle on this camera. Yeah. You know, I was just talking to somebody today for the first time on the phone, and they were not afraid to tell me any and everything. You know, going through a divorce or wanting to go through a divorce and what's going on in their life. This is like the first time I've talked to this person in like, who knows, a couple of months. And they were just willing to share their whole lives with me because I have this attitude of not judging anybody. You know, we're all in this grind together. The grind of life, the stresses, the hating the work, not being able to find a job that you like doing, of, you know, having to beat our own minds and brains and bodies to take the actions that we want, to see the success and goals that we want. And it's always a struggle. And you look for ways to be motivated. And you just got to imagine everybody else is going through that as well. Like, if you realize this, everybody is going through that same struggle, you'd be more careful to not say mean things or judge others, or just be more easygoing, asking more curious questions. Why does this person, believe the earth is flat? Or why does this person, why are they a Democrat? Why are they Republican? Oh, it's going to get some better lighting soon. And look at that shadow behind me. Maybe it'd be better without. Maybe it'd be better without this. Yeah. Why does this person love fishes so much? Why do why do they work the job they work? Why, even though they hate it? It could be an interesting way of starting a good connection or bond with somebody is figuring out why they like the things they like, why they like the things they do. And maybe they're a big music drug user and you're not. That doesn't mean you can't be friends, but it might mean that you don't want to go to concerts all the time, or you don't want to do drugs. Like, you have to figure out who you are and learn to say no accordingly. But you can still be fascinated in them, you could still be interested in them, and you still could build a friendship or connection with them, a relationship. Like, you don't always have to email, call, text them. You just make that impression on where you met them, because you might meet them again at some point in your life. You don't know that. That's why it helps to not judge others, and it helps to remind yourself to not judge others all the time, because you might forget this lesson. You might forget this lesson, or you might build a relationship over time, and then you realize the other person starts changing, and you don't like that they're changing. A lot of people don't like change. Sometimes I don't like change. It's easy to get comfortable with a way of living or a way of doing things until you have to change. You're faced with an obstacle. Sometimes it happens with people. Sometimes they change what they want, or sometimes they change what they expect of you. And either, you change yourself, or you realize that might be the end of the relationship. Or not. Maybe it's the end of it temporarily, or maybe there's less effort put in. But the way you don't burn the bridge is you don't judge the other person. Where has this come into context in other parts of my life? What if you're paying somebody, you're buying a service from them, and then they let you down, or they change their values, they change the way they lead, or they done things you don't respect? Well, at the end of the day, you have to realize you can't judge them, and it's a very difficult thing to change others. Think about how difficult it is to change yourself, and then want to try to change others. I think a lot of business owners go through this. They want their employees to be more productive. They want to have the most perfect relationships with people. And so they try to put all this work and training and effort and trying to get people to be better employees, better themselves, but you can't force people to change all the time. So either you find a better role for them, or you gotta let them go. I wonder if I went sidetracked at all on this topic. Don't judge others. What is a good story I have about not judging others? I think I went to this bar called Nevins, and there's this woman there, late 20s. Oh gosh, what was her name? was her name? Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, I remember I was talking to her like the first time, and I was asking her about her life, her kids, if she liked having kids, based on her energy or emotion. I felt like she didn't like having kids. And then she told me that like, at this point, she got an IUD. Yeah, birth control device. I was like, wow, I can't believe she's telling me all this, at a bar in public, first time meeting her. But, I was just fascinated, learning about how she got married, she's being married, what it was like having kids. She seemed stressed out about having kids. So what was that like? And what's it like juggling being a bartender, being a mom, and doing all this? And, I think it helps sometimes for people to talk through their days. I think a younger me would have been like grossed out, like, or just like uncomfortable with like that level of detail sharing. Like, I don't need to know what's inside your body. Like, but now it's like, if you create that atmosphere, that energy, that conversation, you make people comfortable, you can learn a lot about them. People just want to be accepted for who they are. Of course, this is a double-edged sword. Because based on what I was saying earlier, what if what they believe in is a little bit wonky or crazy? Maybe that's why on the news that we see. Um, what can I think of? That Las Vegas shooter. Oh, he seemed like a normal guy. He seemed nice. We didn't know he was going to break out his hotel window and shoot 30 people. But maybe it's because people don't want to be mean, don't want to judge others, don't know when the right time to intervene is. If they see somebody going down a difficult path. But I think the thing to do in that situation is to always encourage people to be better, encourage people, let them know that you're a little bit worried, or clarify what they mean more. Use your best judgment. If it's going to put harm in other people, maybe that's when you should step in. Otherwise, try to let people believe in what they believe in, as long as it doesn't hurt other people or break any laws. I think that's a good place to end up the episode. So, thanks for watching. Please leave some feedback or comment below, and let us know how we can improve the show.